devotees. We're going to start recording now on Zoom and starting with the Vigyapti Panchika prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Matsamo nasti papatma naparadhi cha kaschana parihare pilajjame kim bhuve purutrottama. Yuvati nam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvato yatha manobhi ramate tadvan mano me ramatam tvai. Bhumau skalita padanam bhumirevaavalambanam tvai jata paradhanam tvameva sharanam prabhu. Govinda vallabhe radhe prarthaye tvamaham sada tvadiyam iti janatu govindo mam tvaya saha. Radhe Vrindavanadhishe Karunamit Vahini Kripya Nijipadabja Dasyamayam Pradiyata. Okay, so now going over to the translations, and Suyash Prabhu, give us the order, please.
Okay.
And Smriti Mataji usually is on a walk in the morning. She's not in a position to read, and so is Garima. So give us the order other than that.
Okay, reading order is Suttapa Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Arti Mataji, Dibyangi Mataji, Khyati Mataji, Priti Radhika Mataji, Suyash, Manasi, and Shraddha Mataji.
Right.
Khyati Mataji, is Niral Prabhu joining today?
She is on mute right now. So if he joins at that time, then they will figure it out. They are good at it, doing that.
Yeah, he's coming, Prabhuji.
All right. Okay.
Can I start, Mataji?
Yes, please.
O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of young men take pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
Okay, I think we messed up with the order there. Or did we? Or is that right? I must have written down something different. Huh? You're good? Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Arti Mataji now.
Okay. Arti 1, Arti 2, Arti 3.
Oh, sorry, Mataji. I was on mute. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Oh, Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavan, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
Who goes next? Suyash?
Mataji.
We're done with.
Done. We are done with the reading.
Okay. Sorry. I was just trying to write down because I wrote down an order because you were not there. So I wrote an order in the order of appearance and then I got things messed up in my brains. Okay. So then reflection time. Yeah. Yeah. You can always start at the reflection time yourself if you come to end of it and if I'm engaged in all these screens. Yeah.
Prathayetam vaham shada.
Prarthaye tvam aham sada. You know what is the meaning of sada?
Every time.
Every time.
Means every time.
Right. Yeah. Can anybody recall a verse from Bhagavad Gita, including those of you who are watching us online, where Krishna is talking about doing this sada? Always? Welcome Vinukoli Mataji and Bhagishri Mataji. Good to have you on the call. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanu smara yudhyacha. Right? All the time, think of me and participate in the fight. Okay, good. Thank you for sharing that, Sudapa Mataji. Go ahead. Others.
You alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
You alone are the only shelter. Okay, good. What else?
Eva Sharanam Prabhu.
Tvameva Sharanam Prabhu. Good.
Dasyam Mayam Paradhyatam.
Dasyam. Okay. Dasyam Mayam Pradiyatam. Pradiyatam. Yeah. Okay. Pradhan karo. Mujhe do. Give me the service. Pradhan karna. Right? Like that. Pradiyatam. Okay. Good.
Manobhiramate tadvan manome ramatam tvai.
Manobhiramate tadvan manome ramatam tvai. Very good. Yeah. Right? Because when the manobhiramatam will happen, then only can you do prarthreya sada. Right? The mind has to be engaged, and then the worship will start, right? And work is worship when the work is done for Krishna. So that's why they're saying that consider me to be your tadiya as your part, and then give me some service, as Vaishana Mataji was asking. Okay? All right, and welcome Charo to the Zoom call.
Hare Krishna.
Any other thoughts in the morning today?
River of mercy.
River of mercy, there you go. So bhakti cannot happen unless we get the mercy of the Lord. We can try any efforts that we want, right? Bhakti will not come. Bhakti comes of its own accord. Okay. Anything else?
Give me a little bit of your service.
Give me a little bit of your service. Yeah. And Krishna is infinite. A little bit of the infinite can become a big service pretty soon. Okay. All right. And then, Radhe Vrindavanadhishe, Bhagishri Mataji from Facebook is sharing that. Tvameva Sharanam Prabhu Vidyavadu Devi Dasi. Very good. Thank you for sharing those words. So, Suyash Prabhu, are you? So, Prarthre, I was just in a lighter mood. I'm saying that there are certain things that you do in the morning, and one of them is also that we should do some exercise in the morning. And a very good exercise is to jump. And I just saw that Divyanki Mataji jumped from Facebook onto Zoom. So thank you for doing that. If you can't do any other exercise, like how Krishna says, right, in the Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter, you always think about me. Manomeram tam tvai. Always think about you. And if you cannot do that, do some abhyas. If you cannot do that, work for me. If you can't work for me, then give your money to me. Like that, he says, like, all right, sir. If you can't lift weight, then you start jumping. If you can't jump on the floor, jump from Facebook to Zoom. So this is an open invitation for all of you joining us and watching us on Facebook, that you can join us on Zoom also. You can WhatsApp me, and I'll send you the details. Okay. So, Suyash Prabhu, can you give us your mercy and give us chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, Mataji.
And where we are we towards the end of the chapter?
We are on 45th, I believe.
Yeah.
Stop this sharing. And
okay, and bring us the other sharing. Okay. All right.
We can start with.
Oh, it's my turn? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Niril Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. So just tell me, Suyash Prabhu, after who do I go? Because I was trying to write down in the prayers.
After Mansi, Charu Mataji, and after Charu Mataji, yours Mataji.
After Charu. Okay, I'll just keep that in mind. Okay.
Prabhuji, can you increase the font a little bit?
Yes, please.
Yeah. How is it now?
Yeah, better, much better.
I'm getting a small screen. I don't know why.
Okay, our dear Sashi Shekhar Prabhu is not feeling well today. So he won't be able to join us. Yeah. So we are missing that spot. Okay.
Chapter 1, Observing the Armies on the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. Text 1. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in the military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words.
Text 3. O my teacher, behold the great army of sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupad. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yudhana, Virata, and Drupad.
There are also great heroic powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashiraj, Purujit, Kunti Bhoj, and Shebya. There are the mighty Yudhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamoja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
But for your information, O best of Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and the sons of Somadatta called Bhrishrava, who are always victorious in battle.
There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and all are experienced in military science. Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited.
So Charu now, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Text 11. Hare Krishna. All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into phalanx of army. Text 12. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandson of Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making sound like a roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy.
Okay, Charu Mataji, by the time my meetings ended yesterday and the follow-ups, it was about 11:30 in the night. So we'll touch base sometime today.
Okay, Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjun blew his, the Devdatta. And Bhim, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Pondra. King Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Anant Vijaya. And Nakul and Sahadeva blew the Sughosh and Mani Pushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virat, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupad, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. Now, before we go to the next round of reading, quick thing, Manasi and Suyash, and also later Khyati, when you switch on the camera, in both the things, I'm able to see half of, just if you can move so that I can see Manasi also, and then similarly for Khyati when you come online. Okay, sorry about that. I survive on looking at you devotees in the morning. So I leave the cameras there. Okay.
It might be so the today's screen is very small,
It is
right?
perfect. It is perfect now. No, it is perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. It was just a matter of adjusting just a little bit here and there because they both were coming with one ear chopped off. So
we text 13 and text 14. If now whoever is reading can read that.
The first person.
Yeah. Suresh Prabhu, can you please scroll up a little bit?
Yeah. We missed text 13 and 14 actually.
So, should I read text 13 and 14, Mataji?
Yeah, please, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells.
Hare Krishna, text 15.
Those are read, Mataji.
Varshana 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Mandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Text 21-22. Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my charioteer between the two armies so that I may see those present here who deserve to fight and with whom I must contend in the great trial of arms. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra.
Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, Just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here.
There Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus.
Text 28. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning.
Oh, sorry. I am unable to stand here any longer. I'm forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own king's men in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness.
O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will we derive from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddesses of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen?
O Janardana, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion.
Text 40. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of the womanhood, O descendant of Varanasi, comes unwanted progeny. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life, both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestor of such corrupt families fall down because the performance for the offering them food and water are entirely stopped.
Okay. So, Charumati, in text number 40, O descendant of, it's Vrishni, not Varanasi.
Oh, Vrishni.
Vrishni, like that.
Vrishni.
It's a
Is
small.
there a place? Is there a name of a place?
No, Vrishni is actually the clan they're talking about, the Vrishni clan.
Oh,
right?
clan.
He belongs to that clan, yeah. Descendant of Vrishni, like that.
Thanks, Mataji.
Okay, no problem. So continuing on with 42. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I've heard by disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell.
Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts. Driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness, we are intent on killing our own kinsmen. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield.
Text 46. Sanjay said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows, and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. So we finished one chapter of Bhagavad Gita somehow today with all the goof ups that we did. So please forgive us, Krishna, for not being attentive to the reading of your nice words. Okay, so time for reflection and time for switching off the sharing of the screen. I'm not already done.
Mataji, I only see the causes of misfortune.
He sees only causes of misfortune. Okay, good.
Yeah.
If we slay these aggressors, we will be overcome by sin.
To slay the aggressors, okay.
The sounds of conch shells vibrating the sky, and it shattered Duryodhana's heart.
The tumultuous sound. Okay. And Prabhupada said that when the Kauravas had sounded that conch shells, that such a similar reaction did not happen in the Pandavas, right? Their hearts were not shattered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mataji, I know we discussed this verse, but can you please tell one more time that here what does that shattered means?
Shattered means the heart was broken into few pieces and the pieces flew out of his ears. No, what happens is the spirit gets lost. The spirit is broken. The heart's is shattered. So usually we say that, my heart is not in this. It's not the heart jumps out of your body and goes inside something. See, you're thoughting about because inside the heart is your mind. In this heart area, the mind is also there. So the thoughts change, right? From thinking like, I'm going to kill them and I'm going to do this. The thoughts now change to like, oh my goodness, they are so powerful. Oh, I might get killed, like that. So that is what is meant by shattering. Suyash Prabhu, you were saying something?
No, Mataji.
Okay, sorry, I thought.
Mataji, when you said for Sada, some text you told.
Always.
Was that Sada? Yeah.
Always.
Always. No, always. You said
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhasya. Yeah. Tasmat sarveshu. Now it is your homework to find out from where it is. Because you are more advanced in the learning of it, right? Bhagavad Gita, you've been doing a lot. Yeah. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. If you search for that, you will be able to get it.
Yes.
Right. And what is the easiest way of finding out where the verse is in Bhagavad Gita?
Mataji, in the search only, I write down this Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu, and the verse comes, Mataji.
And verse comes, right? And the electronic, that's electronic way. And if you have the book in your hand, what will you do?
Mataji, behind there is a given, those chapters are given, and then if you see the first Tasmat
Hold on. What is given behind? What is given?
Glossary.
Index is given, Mataji.
Index of what? Index of what?
Sanskrit verses. Sanskrit verses.
Sanskrit verses, right. That's the exact terminology. So there's an index of Sanskrit verses. And so what does that index contain?
They contain the number of the start of the shloka and the number of the shloka. And the
Just
chapter.
that's the start of the shloka. If a shloka has 4 lines, where will the start be?
The first one. Whatever.
Yeah, it gives you the first and the third also.
Okay.
Yeah, first and third both. Okay, good. Yeah, we should familiarize ourselves with the Bhagavad Gita, the book also, how Prabhupada has nicely laid it out, right? There's a Sanskrit pronunciation guide also for those of you who are new to reading from the transliteration, where we write the Devanagari using the English script. There's a very nice Sanskrit pronunciation guide at the back. If you read that, then there is no way that you can get it wrong. And Varshana Mataji, yeah. And then, by the way, the Sanskrit pronunciation sorry, Varshan, I'll get back to you. The Sanskrit pronunciation guide is also available, extracted from the Bhagavad Gita. The same guide is also available where? Nitya Sankirtan. Yes, nityasankirtan.com. If you go there, you can also look at it from there. Okay.
Mataji, it is 1133.
1133. Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mamanusmara.
8.7.
8.7.
Tasmat. Okay. Tasmat. Sarveshu. 827. Sorry, I looked down.
Is it 827?
8.7.
Yes, 827.
No, Varshana, it is 8.7.
Really?
It's in the beginning. Yeah. So, okay, you can check it up later on, because now we're going to go dive, and it's your turn to read, Varshana.
Yes, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yadi mam prati.
Wait, let me share. I have shared the wrong one. Wait.
Yadi mam apratikaram shastram shastrapanyah Rashtrarane hanyos tanmai kshemataram bhavet.
Very nice. Can you give us the second line one more time?
Rashtrarane hanyos tanme kshemataram bhavet.
Okay. Well, maybe what I meant was the second line in the English transliteration. In the English part, so which will be the second half of the first line if you're reading the Hindi.
Tanme kshemataram bhavet.
No, Mataji, say the first one again.
First line.
Yadi mama pratikaram.
Okay, yeah. Stop. Stop. After pratikaram, just stop, right? And then now give me the other half.
Astram shastra paniye.
Yeah. Ashastram, right? And why I'm being very particular about it, that this is a very important word in this verse. So we need to get it right. Ashastram shastra. Right? Ashastram shastra panayaha. Right? So panya is weapons in the hand. Panya is in the hand, right? And we had talked some time ago about the difference between shastra and astra, right? So,
yes.
Okay. So, all right, good, very good. Go.
Thank you.
So your dream, Krishna fulfilled your dream. Today you are nicely positioned. Okay, good. Synonyms. Who's going to give us the synonyms today?
Mataji, it's my turn, I think.
Ooh, very good.
Even if me, without being resistance, without being...
You give us the Sanskrit also. Like
okay.
Is even.
Okay.
And
Yadi.
Yeah, and one more thing I want to point out, that M-E is pronounced as not me, because if you say me, then Imam is me. Okay, fine, that's good. Okay, go ahead. Later on, I'll tell you something else.
Sure, Mataji. Yadi, even if mom, me, apartikaram, without being resistant, asastram, without being fully equipped, sastra, paniha, those with weapons in hand, Dhritarashtra, the son of Dhritarashtra, The sons of Dhritarashtra ran
Rane.
on the battlefield. Hanuha may kill, that may for me Keshvam taram better bhavat would be.
Okay. Good. Who's coming next after Arti?
It's me.
Rangi?
Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield.
Purport. It is the custom, according to Kshatriya fighting principle, that an unarmed and unwilling foe should not be attacked. Arjuna, however, decided that even if attacked by the enemy in such an awkward position, he would not fight. He did not consider how much the other party was bent upon fighting. All these symptoms are due to the soft-heartedness resulting from his being a great devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Okay. So reflection time now?
Here Prabhupada says that his symptoms were due to soft-heartedness resulting from being a great devotee. So even though he's Kshatriya and he's telling he will not fight even if people other people will attack, that state is because of he's a great devotee of the Lord.
Right. And Achyuta Radhe is telling that, Arjuna is overwhelmed with compassion, and it is because of this trait that you just mentioned now. Yeah. What else?
It gives us a principle of Kshatriya fighting. Even in fighting, there are principles which are an unarmed and unwilling foe should not be attacked, unlike what we see in modern days.
Yeah.
Mataji, though he did not know that how much the other party was bent upon fighting, they were bent upon fighting. He knew that. Still, he showed these symptoms, and he said that they can kill me even when I'm unarmed. He had no problem in that, because he was still not willing to take part in the battle to kill his kinsman.
Right. And then, so you had started with saying, although he did not know, but there was something else but you wanted to say something else, right? And what is the word that Prabhupada has used there in the purport? He did not consider, right? Because they're very, very important, right? It's very, very important about knowing and then considering and reacting to that, right? Because sometimes we know that this person does this person does that, this person is doing wrong. And sometimes we just keep quiet. So we know, but we don't consider that in our reaction to that particular incident or that.
Yes, it happens.
Action, right?
It happens many a times.
A lot of time it happens, isn't it? Yeah. And isn't it nice that there is another talking channel goes on in our head where we are saying something else while we are keeping a mouth?
Yes.
And as we become more and more advanced in devotional service, even that second channel gets shut off, because the second channel is more dangerous. Because it will keep on repeating it, right? So when the thoughts come into your mind, there are two parts of the mind. There is a conscious mind and there is a subconscious part of it, right? How much of the mind do you think, how much percentage do you think is the conscious part?
Mine is in single digits.
Yours is in single digits? Okay.
Percentage.
Yeah, so about 2% of our mind is conscious, and rest is also conscious, right? So what happens is that
if it is only 2%, then Mataji, but when anything happens, that stays in the mind, you see, somewhere in the corner of the mind, when the same thing is repeated.
Yeah, let me finish. Yeah. So let me finish what I was saying. That 2% of your mind is the conscious part of your mind. So your thoughts first come into your conscious mind, the conscious part of your mind, right? And then they will go into the subconscious later on.
Subconscious mind, right,
Because
right, right.
when you're doing something, it's a conscious part, you have to go with that, and then it'll go into subconscious, and the dangerous part is that it stays there. And
Yeah.
so if there was a wish that is unfulfilled, it comes back again. So things
comes
get
back
pulled in
again.
back into your conscious and goes back into subconscious, and the speed with which that happens, isn't it? The speed with which
Yeah,
it happens, we don't even know that there is a conscious section and there is an unconscious section. And
right.
it is the unconscious and subconscious section that our shastras are telling us to purify that part. The conscious part is, okay, your eyes fell on a pen, right? Now from the subconscious, you will derive what I'm supposed to do with this pen, poke somebody's eyes with it or what, like that.
Yeah.
So you see, is the subconscious the 98% that you have to focus on and cleanse. And that's where all the memory is stored. Like, when Krishna talks about Bhumi Apo Analo Vayu, Kham Mano Buddhir Evacha, right? So where is the memory? Where is Smriti? Right? Of course, Smriti is on Zoom today, but where is Smriti otherwise, right? We call it as just mind. That's just one word used for the combined thing. So that is where so Varshana Mataji, to your point that you were trying to say, the beginning is that yes, the minds are there. You are thinking of them today, but then they go somewhere, and that somewhere is where, and that's the place where when you see something fresh, right, it comes on the screen of your mind. Then
Yeah.
for action purposes, you have to. So that's the conscious, that you're seeing it at that point, and then when the intelligence has to decide, then other from the subconscious, whatever things are related to this particular thing that you're seeing will all pop up at a very fast speed. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like
Yes,
that.
Mataji. But intelligence helps you there to.
Yeah, intelligence will help only if the intelligence is higher than the mind. And intelligence is higher than mind provided we allow it to. But sometimes we know whatever comes to the mind, immediately we take it out from the mouth. All the intelligence is saying, don't say. Intelligence is not even given a chance, right? So that is why always there should be a big gap between, what are the four things?
Thinking,
Willing.
feeling, acting.
Feeling and acting.
Right? That's why people say, sometimes our elders used to say that before you speak anything, count till 10. Why are they saying that? They're asking you to increase that time between acting and the willing part that has happened.
What was the fourth one, Mataji? Thinking, willing, and acting, and fourth one?
No, acting is the fourth actually.
Oh, so what third one?
Thinking,
willing,
feeling.
Feeling, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second is the feeling,
and then
right?
willing, okay.
Right. Yeah. And then we have more who have joined us here, and more comments over here. Vidyabadu says Arjuna is soft-hearted. Yes, he is, because he's a devotee. And joined us by Rohit Kumar Prabhu, Danvat Pranam, Rinku Mataji, Danvat Pranam. And Rohit is saying that, yes, subconscious mind is what gives rise to the dreams, right? The dreams are going to come, right? That's why people who are dead appear in your dreams. It's not that those people come in your dreams. You are taking things out from your subconscious and you're playing it on the screen of your mind, like that. Okay.
So Mataji, subconscious, when you said dream, that means if you are thinking of a whatever, that's how this dream comes, because it's in your subconscious a lot.
Yes, it's in your thoughts.
A lot, I see.
Yeah, it's you who dream.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's why you see kids will dream of toffees or demons. That's what they think the whole day. Right? Either they're scared or some big boy is coming and beating them. The world is very small. That world is just on that. And then as we grow up, the responsibilities. I remember I used to maintain spreadsheets in my dream all night long. All night long I used to do that, because that's what I was doing during the day. And if there's a pressure, I need to get something done, okay, do it in the night while you're sleeping. But it's not good to dream. Huh?
I code in dreams.
You code in dreams. There you go. But you don't get paid for that. Okay. All right. So did we go in the verse? Have we done the deep dive into the verse? We have done that, right? And we are doing
So
the reflection.
Mataji, I have a question. When we see that the dead people, especially the parents and the near and dear ones, so they comes in the dream, and sometimes they ask, "Okay, let's go." So What does that mean, Mataji?
Nothing. This is your mind who is saying that.
Oh,
In your
okay.
subconscious, that is what I'm saying, that in your subconscious, somewhere you have read, either heard, when in this lifetime or previous lifetime.
Wow.
Yeah, the subtle body goes into your new body. So you have heard this, and then now there was some impetus from outside. Somebody died, right? So in the subconscious, there is something that, I should also go, I should also leave. And Varshana's story yesterday, when the husband comes and says, oh, if you are so much attached to the mattress, this is not the husband saying that you are attached to the mattress. It is your own mind where somebody has also told you not to be attached to material things. So it all nicely forms up in such a nice way in the dream. Nobody comes from outside in your dreams.
Mataji, on that subconscious mind thing, in the business world, they teach you write down your goals and in front of your mirror, front of your computer, front of your kitchen, wherever, refrigerator, all that, your goals, you just write it everywhere. All day long, you kind of read it, repeat it 10 or so many times a day, in the morning, night. So they are talking to subconscious mind to train to be conscious and then take actions to be successful, of course, in material world, but that's how they were talking. So I'm relating this to this 45 words, I think. So subconscious mind here, Arjuna, how is he thinking on this reference to this shlok?
So I just need to tweak a little bit on what your thought process. So when the businesses are asking you to write your goals everywhere around you, they are actually talking about the conscious mind. We're not talking about the unconscious. It's your conscious mind who will see this here, there, everywhere, right? So they are saying conscious. Now, by doing this, right? So your business, I'll tell you how things go into the subconscious. Your business told you that here are your goals. You should write it down so that they will be everywhere in front of your eyes. Okay? And so you wrote down your goals, you achieve your goals, whatever they are there, whatever, right? And sometimes you're seeing them, sometimes you're not seeing them. But what has gone into your subconscious is the fact that if you want to remember something, it should be in front of your eyes all the time. So what you will do today, Charu Mataji, is you'll go and you'll put the 45 verse of Bhagavad Gita everywhere, on the mirror, on the dresser, in the kitchen, and things like that. Because what has gone into the subconscious is that when I'm faced with this situation that I have to keep something always in my mind, I write it down in 600 other places. So this is now how intelligence goes into the subconscious and gets in and applies it into the first. And that's why we say that good things should be in your subconscious mind, so that given a scenario, you're always doing the good thing, which is what now you can see the subconscious mind of Arjuna, that although he's a Kshatriya, in his subconscious, because he's a devotee. So whenever he sees a situation, Duryodhana is saying, hey, you know what, Drishtadhyumna, just make sure you should fight. He's telling his teacher, forgetting all etiquettes of how you behave with your teacher, right? He's done all that. But Arjuna, totally different scenario there. Why? He's a devotee in his subconscious. That's why I was saying that 98% is subconscious, and it is very important for us to cleanse the subconscious there, which is there, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, and then Achyuta Radhe Mataji likes the thinking, willing, feeling, and acting. Yeah, that concept, she likes it, and to bring the gap between each one of them.
Shraddha Mataji, I have one question about this conscious and subconscious things. Like we're practicing Krishna consciousness, and we have to basically achieve this goal just to love Krishna at some point. Where will it be? Like because it should be conscious, right? Or it should be that deep that it is supposed to be deep, but
yes, the more
where is it?
Yeah, so once it is in your consciousness. For example, right now, okay, we are attending a class on Bhagavad Gita, we are attending a class on Krishna, we're talking about devotee, we were talking about devotee qualities. That's all we do, right? So right now it is right in front of you. Okay, then later on something else will happen, right? You will go and of course you live in a temple, so everything that you do, your consciousness will be very much with Krishna. That's why you made the decision to live in a temple, right? So that all the time, by just because of my time, place, and circumstance, Krishna will come into your mind. That's why we make this decision, right? To move, to go to the forest, like that, right? So now it can happen. It can happen that you can at some points in time not be quote unquote thinking directly of Krishna conscious activities. For example, if you have to take care of your visa, right? It's a very mundane thing. So at that time, what happens is that then visa will become more into your in your etched in your, it will be more in your conscious part of the brain. And if space has to be made, something will go into the unconscious, right? But if good things are in the unconscious, so for temporarily you forget about, that I have to chant, I have to do this, because the focus is there on the filling out the visa form, right? But then after you have filled out the visa form, then if you see something else, like I say, and that's why we do this exercise always. I show you a pen and I tell you, you should get into the habit of relating things with Krishna. That's why Varshana Mataji, your verse from today, 8.7, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmara, that you have to always remember Krishna. And the more you'll be able to remember Krishna is that more of it goes into the subconscious, right? And if you're already not doing material activities, and that's what Vaishashika was talking about this Sunday, about when you do the chanting, right? And we are in the clearing stage when material desires have gone, right? So when the material desires have gone, then you're always talking about spiritual things. It's just that the variety of things in your subconscious related to Krishna consciousness will increase. Right now, for example, for a neophyte is there, right? Doesn't know anything. Somebody gave him a Bhagavad Gita, likes Bhagavad Gita, reads it. When he's reading it, it's in the conscious. And then after that, it goes into the subconscious, right? And then other things also come up. He has no idea about Srimad Bhagavatam. There's nothing, in his mind about Srimad Bhagavatam if he has not been exposed to it in any of his lifetimes like that, right? But then later on, if he starts reading Bhagavatam also, then there will be some Bhagavatam also in his subconscious. So this way, we are putting good things into our subconscious mind.
So it doesn't mean that when we, for example, what we learn verses, we memorize verses, when we have actual realization on them, like when we experience this realization, does it mean that it goes to subconsciousness?
Yes, at the time you're experiencing it, it'll be there, right? And then after you have experienced and you're experiencing something else, right? So after you're experiencing something else, then that comes into the fore. It's all just like how computers work, actually. Computer also works in the same way. There's an area where all your instructions to the computer have to be in that area for the computer to be able to work on it. It's called memory of the computer, right? But memory is not unlimited, it's limited. So it can do only this much. That's why when you buy a computer, it says, how much memory is it? 1 gigabyte, 4 gigabyte, 1 terabyte, what sort of a computer it is, right? So that when things are in the memory, then only you can work on them like that. And then if another set of instructions has to be loaded to the computer, like open my Microsoft Word, open my Excel sheet, open Facebook, whatever, then other instructions have to leave and go away and new have to come. Now there's a whole algorithm on what goes away and what doesn't go away like that, right? But that's how it operates. And that is how our mind is also operating. The subconscious, and then conscious. But when you're taking a decision, it'll depend. So that is why you'll see that sometimes we behave in the most abominable way. And it is just mind-boggling. How could a devotee do that? But it is in the subconscious. There is something there. Right? And that's why Vaishikabu always what he says that you should have thought replacement. Try to replace the thoughts that you have. If you think nice, if you think positive, if you think good thoughts, if you think spiritual thoughts, then not only is your conscious good, your subconscious is also good. Nice. And what is Cheto Darpana Marjanam?
Cleansing.
It is this.
Cleansing the heart.
Cleansing the heart. What does it mean, cleansing the heart?
Yeah, to get rid of
all the bad things that we have. Yeah. Remove all the bad things from the subconscious. And stay also, in touch with that's why devotee association. Why is it required? Because when you associate with pure devotees of the Lord, what kind of thoughts can come to your mind? Unless you are a complete gone case.
And also, Shanmaji, so you said that our memory is limited, like computer, our memory is also limited. That's why when we try to just memorize, even different things from, Bhagavad Gita, all the verses, right? At some point, we will forget something, but when we try to put it in subconsciousness, we won't forget it because Krishna will reveal it wherever we need it. Like it works kind of like that.
You know what? When we talk about verses and desires of verses and Bhagavatam also, we are on a totally different realm. Mind is still a material thing. right? So conscious, unconscious is still a material mind. And verses and all walk on a transcendental plane. So what happens when you progress in devotional service is that your mind actually starts to become transcendentalized. And once it's transcendental, then it's infinite. So Satchit Anand, when we say that, we are Chit, is we have knowledge and it can be, as much as you want. So that's it. And the rules are different, right? The rules on that plane
So,
are
Mataji, my understanding is that Arjuna, he is a devotee, and in his conscious mind, he feels that why should he indulge in killing his own kinsman?
very
But
good.
his subconscious mind, it is also in his subconscious mind that let them kill me, even if I'm unarmed, no problem. But at least I will not kill my own teachers and my own friends and my brothers and everyone.
Exactly. And so in his subconscious, there is also the Kshatriya dharma. There's also the Satya dharma. Satya dharma is to kill, right? So from the subconscious, and then of course he's a devotee, so thou shalt not kill is also there, right? Both of them are there, and that is where the intelligence is going to weigh. Should I do this? And should I do that? Mind is just going, it's just going to present things to you. So I should do this, I should do that. Well, here you go. Right? So then he takes a conscious decision. He says, Yadi mam apatrikaram ashastram shastra panaya. Right? I am ashastram, I have nothing, and they have a shastra in their hand. It is better that I get killed. That's a decision he's taking because of whatever is there was presented from the subconscious. Maybe there's more of the goodness there and less of that, right? So he's following the dharma, Kshatriya dharma. And by the way, these dharmas and these varnas apply to material world. Because what is the dharma of the soul?
As the soul is to keep remembering the Lord Krishna, and serve his lotus feet.
Serving the lotus feet of the Lord is the dharma, Sanatan dharma.
Yes.
Lotus feet of the Lord. Okay, so that is the Sanatan dharma. So Arjuna over here is talking. It's a very nice thing that you observe in the Bhagavad Gita, is that Arjuna said, Seniyor ubhyor madhe sthapyata rathottama. Right? So in the middle of the two armies, you place the Ratha. My dear friend, I can talk to you like that. And Krishna did it. He took it. So you are my order supplier. So when we go to God and ask him for this and that, he's an order supplier. He gives it to you. Right? And right now, he had also been talking, Utsanna Kul Dharmana, Manushanam Janardana, right? He's talking about Kul Dharma, he's talking about this Dharma, he's talking about that Dharma. But Krishna is going to tell him the real Dharma. And take him all the way to chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita, where he's going to tell him, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Right? Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshisyami Ma Sujaha. So that's the complete change that is going to happen in him. He's going to revive his hidden, from the subconsciousness, he's going to bring more and more. And
45 minutes.
Yeah. And before we say anything, before we jump to any conclusions about Arjuna, we have to remember, Prabhupada, we have to remember this is an act that he is following. For whose benefit?
For our benefit.
Our benefit, right? With all this swajana, it looks like he's on a material plane. He doesn't understand anything. Hey, Arjuna, you're a soul. Buddy, come on. Like that, right? We have read all the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. We know that, right? But do we really think? And Arjuna is actually, through his words, he has given away. He's given away through his words that he is aware of the spiritual. And where does he say that?
when he talks about the dharma, you see, Sanatan dharma and
Where does he talk
Vanash.
about Sanatan Dharma? He's not talking about Sanatan Dharma. He's talking about Kul Dharma.
Kul dharma.
Okay. So where is the giveaway that he knows a little bit about spiritualism, or he knows about spiritualism, but there's a giveaway. He knows that.
Is it in this chapter, Mataji?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry. We have to search.
So I'll give you some homework. I'll give you the verse.
1.42.
Okay, tell me what is 1.42.
Actually, in the purport, Prabhupada talks about, therefore, breaking of the Sanatan Dharma tradition by irresponsible leaders of society brings about chaos in that society, and consequently, people forget the aim of life, Vishnu.
Yeah, that's Prabhupada telling us.
Yeah, okay.
We are talking about where does Arjuna give away by his words that he knows about. Okay, you gave us 43. So yes, Prabhu, are you on mute?
42.
42. Okay, go to 43.
I was about to say disciplic succession. So he knew.
Well, he knows from disciplic succession.
Yeah.
You're almost there. And what does he know from disciplic succession? That is the giveaway.
That whose family tradition is destroyed dwell always in hell.
Dwell always in hell. What do you mean by dwelling always in hell? We all die. How can we dwell always in hell?
Situated.
Sorry? Sorry?
See, I don't know whether I'm right or wrong, because it's like the situating every moment you are in a like hill-like situation.
Okay, yeah. But then he said, Narke niyatam vaso. Dwell always in hell. But I'm saying that, okay, I will be in hell only for a little period of time, right? As long as I'm in this body, then the body dies, the hell is finished. But he's saying niyatam, always. That means that you will be in hell in this body and then in your next life. This means he's talking about the soul, right? Who is that you who is constantly dwelling? Right? Narke niyatam vaso. He's saying that Utsanna kul dharmana manushyanam janardana narke niyatam vaso bhavitite anushushma. So who is living forever in the hell? Right? So this means he's talking about transmigration of soul, that you will be in a hellish planet in this life and the next life also you'll be in a hellish planet. Why? Because there was no kul dharma. So he has hinted, he's told us there here itself, first chapter, Arjuna has hinted, he knows it, We don't know it. I did not know it when I started reading the Bhagavad Gita like that.
So which hell does he talk about, Mataji? The one in the Srushti or?
The one which is down there.
Say that question again. I didn't get the question.
Or dwell always in hell. So the hell, what is he talking about? The one which we are here existing right now, or the one
or the one
which is down there, the different low
patal. Anywhere. Niyatam, always. Right? So hell can be anywhere. So these concepts of planets, etc., are not like, okay, this is your heaven, this is your hell, this is this is that, this is a lower planetary system, this is a higher planetary system. These are, sometimes you see diagrams, patal, talatal, rasatal, then bhur, bhuva, swaha, and then all these higher planets, right? Like that, and then satyaloka on the top. It's not that they are lined up like that. It's not even that, okay, there's a layer here and there are 1 billion planets here, 1 billion planets here, 1 billion heavenly planets, 1 billion like that. It's not like that. They have high and low. Higher planets and lower planets are more to do with how high your consciousness is versus, how low your consciousness is, right? So when we talk about higher planets and lower planets, it doesn't mean that the lower planets are all hellish planets and higher planets are all heavenly planets, right? So hellish planets are planets which are created, which are existing to punish us. And depending on the kind of sinful activities that we do, you will be punished accordingly and put into a suitable hellish planet, right? And so those are planets are like that, right? A higher planet and a lower planet doesn't mean that somebody in a lower planet that he'll also be suffering hellish things. No, we are talking about the consciousness towards, we are talking about Krishna consciousness. Whether you have a high level of Krishna consciousness or whether you have a low level of Krishna consciousness, right? So, for example, Bali Maharaj, right, is in the Pata Lokas, which if you look at your hierarchical structure just like that, he's in a lower planetary system. So should he be suffering? Was he suffering? He was enjoying. He was so opulent, right? Like that. Because his consciousness was higher. He was Bhakta of Vishnu, like that. So we have to remember that your consciousness. So even here, wherever you are, by changing your consciousness, you are transporting yourself from a lower planet to a higher planet. So that's why I'm saying that don't associate that with the geography that I'm on the Earth planet, like that. I mean, it might happen that on this physical Earth planet, they might put people who are there, but you see, it is not the case, right? You have all kinds here. Just from your consciousness, you see how powerful mind is. Just from your consciousness, you can transport and go from here to there to here. You can do that kind of a travel.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, like you say, hellish planet means always live in hellish planet. And my understanding is that I feel, maybe right or wrong, but I am in this body, fine. God has given me a chance to study the Shastras and elevate myself. Okay, but if I'm of sinful, I'm doing sinful activities, I'm in the hell as it is if I'm doing the sinful activities. Next birth, I may get of an animal, and on earth itself, I may be, going through the hellish life.
Yes, and you don't need to have an animal body to go to hellish life. You can go through hellish life in a human body also. Actually, life is less hellish for animals because they don't think.
Because they don't understand.
Yeah, life is more hellish because we have a mind which is more evolved, like that.
They don't have any karma kandri activities. They are not in the part of that.
Say that again.
Animals are not in the part of the karma kandri activities, Mataji.
Yes. Yeah, and they don't think, they work by the instincts. Their intelligence is less developed, right? We have the intelligence to reason, to compare, to discriminate, like that. So we are more bad. And there's a question on Facebook that I just want to read from Deepak Bhardwaj Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu, for asking that question. So won't the soul get a new body? Yes, it'll get a new body after death, right? Dehesmin yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tatha dehantar praptir dhiras satanam huyati. So it says that, just as in our life, we go through a child's body, a youth's body, a old body. Similarly, at the end, what happens is we just go into and take another body in a different geographical location, right? And will the soul dwell in hell? Yeah, it depends on what you have done. It depends on the sum total of your karmas. And what Arjuna is saying over here is that utsanna kul dharmana, that, if you're not following the kul dharmas, not doing the dharmas meant for human life, then you will go to hell. Then you will be, will he get a body by which they will be in hell? Yes, their body, they will enter into a womb of a person, who is a person or an animal, whatever, who is in a hellish planet. So they can also go and suffer there with them, like that. So that is how it is defined in where you take birth, and also who takes birth in your family. And that's why we were talking about the Garbhadhan Sanskar, that you try to attract a better soul by bumping up your consciousness to a higher level. So we are at 7:36, my dear devotees.
We didn't realize the time.
Yeah. Okay.
I just wanted to ask that. So basic thing, it's the thoughts. So if we can control the thoughts, it will ultimately, the destiny will be fine. because the thoughts, words, actions, habits, character, and destiny.
Absolutely, yes. And today at 6 o'clock in the evening, we are talking about controlling the mind. Sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, right? Dhyana yoga is how you control your mind, and so that tasmat sarveju kaleju mam anusmara can happen, right? So it's talking about one of the processes that you can follow there. And right now, in the middle of all this, Arjuna is saying, of course, now you see from first chapter we have jumped to sixth, right? Because we have been doing that reading of Bhagavad Gita almost for how many years now, Varshana Mataji? 7 years now?
Yes,
Long
Mataji.
time. Yeah.
Yes.
We did the Bhagavad Gita once, and now like we do how surface, and then now we're going deep down, and so it's taking us such a long time. So we are in sixth chapter, and what is Krishna saying? Yes, philosophically very easy to understand. Sorry, that you just control your mind and everything is nice, right? Wow. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balvadranam tasyaham nigraham manye vayur eva sudushkaram. So Arjuna is saying, yeah, Krishna, I know. But I'm not able to follow your thing because mind is very chanchal. Chalta hai, idhar se udhar jata, right? For example, if I tell you, Sutapamati, you just think about your mom in Calcutta. You just reached Calcutta. Your mind reached Calcutta. So the mind can extend beyond your gross body and go other place. Like eyes can't extend and go anywhere, right? Till we get some yogic siddhis and then your eyes can also extend. But right now, by default, it doesn't happen. By default, you get a body with a mind that can go to many places. So you can do that. Yeah.
It was like Vaisheshika Prabhu said that sentence again and again. Change your thought and change your
Destiny. Yes.
thought.
Very nice. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah. So on that note, we will call it a day today. Here, change your thoughts today and change your destiny. That's a very good thought to have. Okay. So today we're going to do Bhagavad Gita, 6 o'clock in the evening today, same Zoom channel, same Facebook channel, right? But you'll also have it available on the phone for those of you who can't join on these other social media. So information is available in nityasankirtan.com, right? So you can always go there. And thank you for Chaitanya Mataji, Nisdham Prabhu, as well as Snigdha Pakhi Mataji. Thank you so much for joining the call over here. And Vanchikalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patita Nam Pavnibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, Manasi, could I call you for a quick minute after this call is over? Huh? I'll give you a call on your WhatsApp. Okay. Hari Krishna. Hari Krishna. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you.